Luigi, the younger fraternal twin brother to Mario. We've seen him fight alongside his brother on many occasions, but for the most part, he's lived in his brother's shadow. Until he was given his own identity, starring in his own franchise, the Luigi's Mansion series. Unlike his brother Mario, Luigi is known for his cowardly personality. It really manifests in the Luigi's Mansion series. Players play with Luigi through haunted mansions, searching for Mario, and capturing ghosts through a vacuum cleaner. Since the original Luigi's Mansion released in 2001, there have been a total of 3 Luigi's Mansion titles and 5 total games. I'm going to be ranking each and every single one of these games in order from which they've come out. Starting with the first one, titled Luigi's Mansion. It was the first Mario title released on Nintendo GameCube back in 2001. The game starts with Luigi following a map leading him to a mansion he won in a contest he doesn't even remember entering in. Upon arrival, Luigi is greeted with what looks like to be a haunted mansion. I don't know why he didn't just turn around and go home. Although Luigi clearly shows signs of terror entering the mansion, his heroic side pushes him to explore what's inside further. Very shortly, he encounters his first ghost. He's shaking in his boots, quivering in fear as many of us would if we saw a ghost. Fortunately for him, Professor Egad steps in and absorbs the spirit with a Ghostbuster-esque machine, the Poltergust 3000. It is a vacuum cleaner that is the most important element to traverse the game in one piece. Professor Egad is able to convince Luigi to be his new foot soldier in tracking down ghosts for his research by informing him that Mario has gone missing inside the mansion. Luigi steps up for the occasion, filling in his brother's shoes in his absence, despite his cowardice. The atmosphere of Luigi's Mansion games made playing this game for me scary as a kid. It's as if I felt what Luigi felt as he explored the mansion. The game introduces many bizarre ghosts who jump out at you when you least expect it. The mansion is split up into sections with various spirits who possess different abilities. You traverse linearly, collecting what you need to advance into the mansion. Once you get the hang of the controls, hunting down ghosts becomes quite rewarding. Luigi uses his flashlight to stun ghosts before absorbing them into his poltergust. Learning to precisely control the airflow of the poltergust to reel in the ghosts and absorb them without breaking the absorbing sequence is my favorite part about Luigi's Mansion games. The Nintendo GameCube controller introduced pressure-sensitive trigger buttons, showcased wonderfully in Luigi's Mansion. I was addicted to interacting with everything around me, like tablecloths, carpets, and shelves, finding gold bars, pearls, and cash. Luigi's Mansion is such a unique game, it's practically impossible to compare it to a Mario title. The game doesn't even feature a jump button. Rather, if you press the A button, Luigi will call out to Mario in various tones. Luigi's Mansion is Nintendo's attempt to dabble in the horror genre. This can be seen in some of the ghosts scattered throughout the mansion. Even the sound used in this game is iconic. When the same eerie tune wasn't being played in the background, Luigi could be heard humming and whistling nervously to keep himself distracted from whatever horror lay ahead. Rather than collecting stars, Luigi finds himself in one giant mansion that could be compared to a dungeon in a Zelda game. The game is short and sweet with an incredibly high replay value. Luigi's Mansion is goated and will forever be one of my all-time favorite GameCube games. Therefore, Luigi's Mansion has earned itself, yes, that's right, the S rank. Yes, it's the S rank. It's superb. It's super amazing. It's worthy of the S rank. I'm sure many of us remember 2013. Nintendo decided to dedicate that year to Luigi by giving him a few games of his own to celebrate 30 years of Luigi, including the sequel to Luigi's Mansion, Luigi's Mansion: The Dark Moon for 3DS. I was surprised that Nintendo decided to release it on 3DS over the Wii U. I feel like it would have made more sense considering that Luigi's Mansion and Luigi's Mansion 3 are home console titles. But Luigi's Mansion: Dark Moon was a pleasant surprise indeed. The game begins with King Boo seeking revenge on the Italian plumber. King Boo is seen shattering the Dark Moon, breaking it into 6 pieces, scattering them to different mansions in the valley. That's right, the game introduces multiple mansions that Luigi can explore. All thanks to Professor Egad's new pixelator teleport system, which allows Luigi to materialize from matter to energy back into matter again. The gameplay remains the same as the original. You have to solve puzzles and catch ghosts. The Poltergust also gets a sweet new upgrade from the Poltergust 3000 to the Poltergust 5000. It's also upgradable in the game, which makes it more powerful and useful for tracking down boos. My only gripe about this game was that it was on 3DS. Nintendo took advantage of the gyro controls for 3DS. If you know anything about me, I don't like gyro controls. They can be way too sensitive, leading to many needless fails. Apart from that, the overall game is wonderful. The graphics are some of the best looking games on 3DS, and the character models and attention to detail are spot on. The boss fights in this game are also exciting, challenging you to interact with your surroundings to figure out how to cause damage to your opponents. It also introduces a multiplayer mode called Scare Scraper with different game modes for you and your friends to enjoy. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is a joy to play. It takes everything great about the original and adds to it. However, I'm still left wondering, why wasn't it this game developed for Nintendo Wii U? I feel like it would have worked out better taking advantage of the Wii U gamepad than the second screen of the 3DS. Either way, I enjoyed Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Still, I can't say I feel as highly about it as the original Luigi's Mansion. Therefore, I'm going to be ranking Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Oh, that's right! I'm gonna rate it the A rank because it's an awesome game, yes! Congrats, it's an awesome game. You should play it for 3DS. It would have been nicer if it was on a console, but still, it's a good 3DS title, man. So a lot of you might not even be aware of this, but in 2015, Capcom worked with Nintendo to develop Luigi's Mansion Arcade, a first-person shooter based on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. The game was released in Japan. It was also available for play at some Dave & Buster's in the West. I played this game, and it's a pretty basic game. You use the vacuum to aim at ghosts, stunning them with your strobe light, and then absorbing them just like any Luigi's Mansion title. The graphics were cartoony, and some of the ghosts were equipped with swords and shields. You'd have to use the smart bomb to disarm them before you stun them. The whole game is less than an hour long and can be played with a friend. I played this title a few times while it was out, but I would never consider it an official Luigi's Mansion title. For that reason, I'm going to go ahead and rank this bad boy a C. Because it's cool, it was a cool experience. But again, it's not an official Luigi's Mansion game, you know, because otherwise why did we get the latest game called Luigi's Mansion 3? Obviously you know this, I don't have to explain this to you, you already know, you know more than me I'm sure. Since the original release of Luigi's Mansion on Nintendo GameCube, almost 2 decades later, Nintendo brings it back with updated graphics and a new multiplayer mode for 3DS. Not only that, but Nintendo also takes advantage of the second screen by allowing you to keep track of your locations with an always-on map and track the amount of money you have and the ghosts you've captured. Given that it's on 3DS, Nintendo also throws in a motion control option that you can thankfully turn off, because that was the first thing that I did. I turned off gyro motion controls. I'm just not a fan, and I'm so glad they put that option in there. Otherwise, I literally would have ranked this game horribly. Multiplayer mode for the story is also a nice added feature. However, the game is intended for a single player experience. Playing it multiplayer makes this game even easier than it is. It's always nice to be able to play through a classic and experience the adventure with someone else though. Luigi's Mansion for 3DS is a solid option for newcomers or people seeking to replay the GameCube classic. Its eye-catching graphics and its co-op campaign mode might make it worth it for some to choose to play this over the original. As for me, I wish the controls were better, especially playing it on an original 3DS. I would choose the original over this any day if I were to play Luigi's Mansion again. It's not a bad remake, but at the same time, it's not better than the original. So therefore, I'm gonna be ranking Luigi's Mansion Remake on Nintendo 3DS. I'm gonna rank it the A rank because it's alright compared to the original. It's not bad, it's good in some ways, but at the same time, Luigi's Mansion is just more enjoyable on a big screen. not a little 3DS. Last but not least, Luigi's Mansion 3, making its debut in 2019 for Nintendo Switch. Boy, was I excited when this game was announced. Being a fan of Luigi's Mansion and a bigger fan of Luigi, I knew this game was gonna be anything short of incredible. The paranormal adventure starts with Luigi, Mario, Peach, and Polterpup heading to the last resort hotel for a luxurious vacation. The gang is seen entering their respective hotel rooms. Inside Luigi's hotel room, Luigi is seen reading a novel with Polterpup by his side. Aww. He quickly falls asleep only to be awakened by the sound of Peach screaming. Luigi investigates the now haunted hotel only to be greeted by Helen Gravely, King Boo's accomplice. Helen gravely reveals she lured Luigi and the gang to the hotel for King Boo to exact his revenge on Luigi. Luigi's mission is clear. He is no longer living in the shadows of his older brother Mario. He ventures off throughout the hotel, obtaining floor buttons, allowing him to progress further up in the hotel. Exploring each floor is a blast, with fun, colorful ghosts that you can smash into the ground and crispy cutscenes that look like they could be from a Disney movie. The controls for this game are probably my favorite part of Luigi's Mansion 3. They are polished to perfection. I would vacuum up everything I came into contact with. It's oddly satisfying just destroying everything with your vacuum. The gameplay style is very similar to what we got in the first two Luigi's Mansions, with the addition of the new suction and slam ability. Luigi's Mansion 3 is the absolute pinnacle of Luigi's Mansion games. Each floor is unique, from directing a movie to spending a night in a museum to visiting an ancient tomb from Egypt. The game is packed with surprises. It's amazing how it gets better and better as you go along. It's a game I'd recommend to anyone who hasn't played it or is looking for a great Switch title. Therefore, I'm gonna be ranking Luigi's Mansion 3 the S+ rank. Yes, that's right. Every one of these games, there's always the one that just, you know, it surpasses all. And this was it, Luigi's Mansion 3. Some might argue and be like, what are you talking about, Sully? Luigi's Mansion was the best. Okay, I don't disagree with you, but this time I'm not gonna let my nostalgia get the best of me. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When I played Luigi's Mansion 3 for the first time, I played it like a year after the game came out. And I was like disappointed in myself because I was like, this game is so good. And people probably wouldn't expect it. Like, everything about this game was just amazing. I personally couldn't find any flaws in it. It's fun single player, it's fun multiplayer, the graphics are great. You should just watch a video with all the cutscenes back to back. I'm telling you, they're like the highest quality cutscenes you'll see in any Mario game, period. But yeah, there you guys have it. My Luigi's Mansion tier list. Let me know what your tier list looks like down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.